The phone call was recorded at 11:47 p.m., and what Jennifer Gledhill said next would seal her fate forever. On September 28th, Jennifer Gledhill called police to report her husband Matthew Johnson missing. The disappearance of Matthew Johnson, a Utah father and husband, and the arrest of his wealthy wife, Jennifer Gledhill, for first-degree murder. Jen in our home before and, breaking bread with them, and then it turned out that she's responsible for his death. It was shocking, frankly. Hi everyone, my name is Sophie, and today we're going to take a look at another horrible case with you. Jennifer Gledhill and Matthew Johnson seemed to have it all. Living in their million-dollar home in Cottonwood Heights, Utah, they appeared to be the perfect family, a devoted military husband and a caring mother, raising their 3 children, aged 11, 7, and 5. Matthew, 51, was a respected member of the Utah National Guard's 19th Special Forces Group, a Green Beret who had served his country with honor for over a decade. His fellow soldiers described him as brilliant, reliable, and someone you could always count on for answers. Jennifer, 42, was seen as a devoted mother and supportive military wife who many of Matthew's friends described as nice, kind of a homebody. The family lived quietly in their upscale neighborhood, and to the outside world, everything seemed normal. But beneath the surface of this seemingly perfect marriage, cracks had begun to form months earlier. The couple had been considering divorce since July 2024, and court documents revealed a highly dysfunctional relationship that had been deteriorating for some time. In August 2024, Jennifer filed for a temporary protective order against Matthew, claiming she needed protection from her husband. However, when the case went before the court, the judge made a decision that would prove to be fatally significant. 3rd District Commissioner Russell Minus examined the evidence Jennifer presented and found that the videos she submitted actually showed her as unafraid and equally confrontational toward him. The commissioner noted that text messages from Jennifer to Matthew were repeatedly berating, belittling, and demeaning, if not outright attempting to goad him into a violent response. On September 16, 2024, just days before the tragedy that would shatter their family forever, Commissioner Minus dismissed the protective order, ruling that no abuse had occurred. He wrote something that now seems hauntingly prophetic. The conduct of the parties over the past several months is representative of a highly dysfunctional marriage bringing out the worst in the parties, clearly suggestive that an action for divorce should have been filed long before reaching the current state of affairs. What the commissioner didn't know was that Jennifer had already made a decision that would ensure divorce proceedings would never be necessary. In the weeks leading up to September 2024, Matthew's behavior began to change dramatically. According to his friends, Jennifer's erratic behavior had become so disturbing that Matthew spent much of the final weeks of his life sleeping at a National Guard facility out of concerns about his safety. In one of his last conversations with his longtime friend, retired Utah National Guardsman Kevin Thompson, Matthew had really come to the conclusion that a divorce needs to happen, and it is time to move on. But Matthew never got the chance to move on. What Matthew didn't fully realize was that Jennifer had been living a double life. She was having an affair with another man, someone who would later become the key to unraveling the entire case. This wasn't just a casual fling. It was an intense relationship that consumed Jennifer's thoughts and emotions. On September 19, 2024, just 2 days before the murder, Jennifer showed her lover something that should have been a warning sign. She displayed a loaded gun to him, a Glock 19X that she kept in their home. At the time, he probably thought nothing of it. After all, many military families owned firearms. But prosecutors would later reveal that Jennifer had been calculating and methodical in her planning. She had arranged for their 3 children to stay at her parents' house the night she planned to kill their father. The stage was being set for a confrontation that would end in tragedy. September 20th, 2024 started like any other day. But by evening, the fragile facade of the Johnson-Gledhill marriage would finally crumble. Matthew had discovered the truth about his wife's affair, and witnesses would later report hearing a heated argument between the couple that night. According to Jennifer's later confession, Matthew confronted her, yelling at her because he knew she had been sleeping with someone else. The argument was intense, with years of marital problems finally exploding into the open. But what happened next would haunt everyone who learned about it.